This is Hannibal, the HannibalTV.com, with a wrestling news update. Once again, NXT defeated AEW in viewership in the big, quote-unquote big, if you want to consider 0.2 ratings big, Great American Bash versus Fyter Fest. Big Show versus quote-unquote Big Show war. NXT had 759,000 viewers, while AEW had 715,000 viewers. So the development brand beat AEW in viewership. However, AEW won in the ratings, 0.28 to 0.2. So both shows down in ratings from last week. That puts the score in viewership. AEW has won 37 times, NXT has won 7 times, and there's been one draw. However, NXT has only beat AEW one time in the 18 to 49 demographic rating. And of course, Raw this past week had their very lowest hour in history for their first hour, and their second lowest rating of all time, 0.49, second lowest viewership of all time. And SmackDown last week had the lowest rating of all time. So it's a dark time for professional wrestling as far as interest. I already did a report. I tried to watch the Jericho versus Orange Cassidy match last night. I couldn't make it through. Orange Cassidy is about 5'7", 150 pounds. That's literally the size I was in grade 7. And Jericho looks to be at least 230, and Jericho's bumping all over the ring for Orange Cassidy. It's so unbelievable and fake looking. I'm just not interested. It just sucks. When you're a fan of wrestling and you grew up when wrestling was actually good, to see what wrestling, it's not wrestling anymore. I'll give them that. They don't call it wrestling. They call it entertainment, but it's not entertaining. I'll say a few of your comments here. Sam says AEW wins again in ratings, though. Yeah, if you want to celebrate over 0.2 ratings, yes. Alan Kesselman says both AEW and NXT were awful this week. Sam High Skin Rider says everyone knows the only thing advertisers care about is ratings. Well, that is true. And from your standpoint, ratings are actually bad for both brands. 0.2s are not good ratings. So if you want to celebrate that AEW got a 0.28, great. But they still lost in viewership to the Development League on a show that featured a big fat guy, Keith Lee, winning the title from Adam something or other. I forget his last name. Another puny guy. Chris Benoit, who is a better technical wrestler, Zack Sabre Jr. or Davey Boy Smith Jr.? Davey Boy Smith Jr. He's trained with Billy Robinson, Josh Barnett. So many great fighters, amateur wrestling coach, plus he's a legitimate fighter, unlike Zack Sabre Jr. Plus Davey Boy Smith Jr. could actually kick ass in a real fight. He's not a midget. Alan Kesselman says it's all storytelling, sadly. Carolina Zone, where is AEW missing the boat? The problem is that there is no, I can't pinpoint it because I can't sit through an entire show. It's just too many small wrestlers doing gymnastics, bad booking. They originally said they were going to be a sports-oriented product. Going back to old school wrestling, they never did that. It's one thing to have a match or two of gymnastics crap on your show, but when 90% of it is that shit, it just sucks. Anyways, I don't care about wrestling these days. This YouTube channel, though, is my main job now because my shoot job is closed from lockdown. But as I've said, you're going to see more MMA related content, old school interviews people still love, but celebrity interviews, other stuff, because interest in wrestling worldwide is going down. The major companies are catering to the small percentage of fans, of hardcore fans that are still watching and are going to watch no matter what, rather than the mainstream audience. But viewership is going down, hitting all-time lows seemingly on a weekly basis. So the Dave Kruger says he's pumped for the upcoming Warlord and Raven shoots. I'm doing the Warlord shoot in about an hour. Mathis says Keith Lee has a massive belly. Yes, Keith Lee, who spoke out recently about a woman that supposedly tried to date rape him. He wanted to join the speaking out train, coming out with that story. Funny stuff. Mirrored says wrestling is at its worst. Alex Legal Research says maybe I could just review old stuff. I will. I'll continue to do that. Definitely will. Have a good afternoon, everybody. I'm going to finish up my questions for the Warlord interview. Have a good one.